everybody, and welcome to another video from Frog Lane Studio. So today we're going to be looking at how to make a wet palette for free. We'll be covering on how to use a wet palette and what they're used for in an upcoming video, but for today it's just about how to make them. So you're going to need a couple of things. First off, you can see the greaseproof paper in the background. Next up, a couple of bits of kitchen roll, a bit of water, a pair of scissors and a receptacle for the wet palette. I'm using just an old terrain box from Games Workshop, but you can literally use anything. All I'm doing here is just folding up the paper towel. You're going to need it about 6 or 7 layers deep on that, trying to get it to fit in, and then we'll just go ahead and cut it to size. You don't have to be too neat with this, but it helps to get a nice comfortable fit in there. Once we've got that done, it's just a case of matching it up on the other sides. Nothing too difficult or too strenuous. You can buy these online for £10–15. I know Army Painter, Green Stuff World, Games Workshop at one point, they all sold wet palettes, but to be fair, this is the cheapest and easiest way to do it. There we go, it's fitting in quite nicely there. Next up, you're going to need to grab some of the parchment paper. So this sits on top of the kitchen roll and is what you paint on top of. So when we're doing this, it's going to allow it to keep the paint nice and moist at all times. Yet again, we're just going to dry fit this. You want this one to be as tight as possible. So I'm just going to fold the ends over once I've given it out a rough measurement. And then that will allow us to get the parchment paper or the baking paper in as nice and tight as possible. It stops the water that we're going to put in a second from tipping over the edge. If you do get the water onto the paint, obviously it's going to make it a little bit more fluid than we would like, so that's the importance of getting this parchment paper to sit right. And there we have it. So it's going to stick up like that until we put the water in. So we're going to tip the water all the way in. You want a fair bit on this to tamp it down as much as possible. Make sure you're covering all the edges from the front to the back, side to side. Tamp it down. It's going to be nice and moist there after we've got it all in. We can just stick the parchment paper on top, and that moisture on the kitchen towel is just going to allow the parchment to stick to the towel itself. As you will be using your wet palette for a couple of weeks without changing it to stop it smelling funky, top tip for you is to peel the parchment back and just slap a load of fairy liquid here, or dish soap for you Americans. A little bit of bubbles popping up. Just make sure it's all rubbed into the bottom. This is going to kill the bacteria and stop any smells from happening. Once you've done that, you can just lay it back over the top and your wet palette's all ready to go. So the thing you can do to keep your paints wetter for longer is just to pop it into the fridge after you've finished. So there we have it, one free, easy to make wet palette tutorial. Job's done. Thanks very much, guys. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to cover in future videos. If you haven't, obviously just give it a thumbs down. If you are looking at buying more Games Workshop products, I'm now affiliated with Mighty Lancer Games, who give a massive 20% off most of the products in the range. And if you've been finding the videos or streams useful at all, I'd also just like to mention that the channel does have a Patreon page links to which are below. If you've enjoyed or learned something, then all support is greatly appreciated, as it allows me to continue to support you guys. Channel Patreons receive various benefits, such as requesting tutorial content or hourly one-to-one hobby sessions with myself. We also have a Discord there where everybody gets together and we discuss painting tips and tricks. So if any of that sounds good to you, or you'd just like to help support me and keep on making these tutorials, then feel free to have a look at the link down below. In any case, a massive thank you to all of my Patreons: Sonoris, Mr. and Mrs. Ritzenbits, Not There But Trying, Stephen101, Full Circle, Eater of Cities, Keith89, Past 7 Painting, Midget Gems, Logo Dry Dog, Mr. Tumnus, Original Sin, The Secret Paintbrush, Death Corpse Master, Jeans and a Shirt, and of course the ever indomitable Mrs. Frog. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to keep on making these videos, so these are just for you. Thank you very much.